Boy, that music's so sweet. We could just let that music play and we could just have a great time. Steel Pan. An arrangement by none other than Fingers, Cornell Phillip. Remember that time a few years ago we brought together about 100 pan players. And in the stadium we actually let people hear for the first time that it is possible again for Dominica to have live steel pan. We used to have Panorama with 7-8 major bands participating. That's when I was a teenager. And today we don't have one. But I think what we were able to do around that time with Cornell's arranging skills was to demonstrate that it is possible. And listen to that. You cannot fight to music like that. You cannot make war to music like that. You can only make love and do nice things to music like that. And that's why Carnival a long time ago used to be so nice. Maybe one day it'll be nice again. But it's going to take nice people with a sense of the culture, the heritage, the history, in all its various assets and facets to make that possible. And guess what? We have somebody in studio with us today who comes from that tradition, is part of the tradition, and is here to talk to us about how, in a very interesting and innovative way over the last couple of years, she has actually translated her skills as an artist, singer, musician into the world of cuisine and culinary things. Maxine of the Urban Garden.
Good afternoon, Auntie, and good afternoon to all the listeners of Q95 FM here in Dominica and all over the wide world.
What's on our menu today, Maxine? What are we doing? How come you here? I mean, what you come to tell us?
I just come and sit down now, talk a little bit and listen to some music, and
For sure.
Yeah, but it's lunchtime, and we do this every now and then, a couple times a week. We do it. We bring the information out. We normally send it out by WhatsApp to all the people who are on our list, and we have lots of people who call in on a daily basis to find out what we have for lunch, and who drop by because they know that no matter what, they can depend on us having some good food, some healthy and delicious stuff. But we also bring it out to the wider audience a couple times a week. Compliments of, well, not exactly compliments, but with the assistance of Q95.
Big station.
The big station. So today, October 4th, Tuesday, October 4th, we have a choice of cranberry barbecued chicken thighs. We've got pork baked in ginger sauce. We have mai, also more commonly known to us as doad or dolphin. Mahi in Creole sauce, and we've got some stir-fried vegetables as a vegetarian option. Some nice colorful vegetables, lightly stirred, just ready for your plate.
But for somebody like me who likes everything you've announced there so far, how do I navigate that menu?
Well, it just means you have to come for lunch more than once. You just have to come for lunch more than once.
I tell you.
And every day we do different specials, so that's our today's specials: cranberry barbecue thighs, pork and ginger sauce, mai in Creole sauce, stir-fried vegetables, and then we have that served with breadfruit salad. Of course, we're getting a lot of breadfruit around now, so we're coming properly into the Creole culinary season. We have our breadfruit around and we have our zabuka. What would you do without these two? Beautiful combination. So we have breadfruit salad, we have jasmine rice, black beans, and fresh garden salad. And then our soup of the day, today we have pumpkin soup with some smoked pork as our soup special, along with, we always have a cream of pumpkin soup which we make with coconut milk, our local, our dry coconuts, and we make our milk and we serve that along with garlic bread. But if you're looking for a hearty soup with provisions and dumpling and stuff, then our daily or today's special is pumpkin soup with smoked pork, a little nice something warm and easy to put on the stomach.
You know something, Maxine? When you walk into a restaurant, an eating place, and all you hear is the sound of the cutlery on the plate and no conversation, you know what that tells me?
That means angels are passing over.
Oh God, the food
is
is good. The food good. People don't even have time to talk. That's what happens when I pass by, even when I just walk by. All I hear is clack, click, click, clack, click, 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 clack. And I say, Jesus, boy, she got it right. She got it right again. You know. That's wonderful. What about juices? Fresh juices.
Juices
What do you
today
have?
we have mango, guava, tangerine,
Gosh.
Ginger lime, and some carambola as well. I think that's what we have right now in the chiller.
Lovely.
So you know and of course we have other stuff on the menu. We have a raw kale and pumpkin salad. We get organic kale from a young guy in Egliston. We just got some fresh today. So we use raw kale and we use raw pumpkin as well. For those of you who don't know what kale is, it's a green leafy. It's a dark green leafy, similar-ish to lettuce, but very full of nutrients, very high in protein, so it fills you up. It's a salad, but it fills you up. And then we have some nuts in there and some cabbage, and a nice and some currants and a honey balsamic dressing. We have our Caesar salad, our chicken Caesar salad. We have our wraps, vegan wrap, grilled chicken, barbecue chicken and cheese wrap. We have a barbecue pork wrap. We have a grilled chicken wrap. So you know we have lots of different things, and then our rotis, fish, chicken, veggie rotis that we have available Monday through to Saturday. So lots of nice things that you can choose from, different waffle combinations and all sorts of things. So yes, Athi, the challenge is what to choose today.
Absolutely. I mean, what a nice challenge to have. It's like challenge. A kid in a candy store, you know, mommy, could we have this? Could I have this? You know, a thought just occurred to me that, you know, I don't know if have you ever asked Matt to come there and like do a segment from the urban garden?
I think
have we done that?
We last year, did we do that one day last year? I think we may have done that once in the Creole, close around the Creole time last year.
Yeah.
Because it would be nice to do it again.
It would be nice to do it and to get the clickety clack. There'll be no voices. There'll be just but that's wonderful. And you know, every time I pass by, I do see people in there either buying some of the stuff you have in the showcase or sitting and munching away. And I notice, interestingly, a nice blend of visitors and Dominicans.
And locals, yes,
Dominicans.
yeah.
Is that typical?
That is, yes.
Yeah.
You know, I say very much, as is this the case with Riverstone as well. You know, our business is very much based on the local market. Because there is not enough of the other market to sustain.
True.
You know, particularly during the off season. So we very much focus on the local market, but we offer some interesting combinations. And as you're talking about how the music plays into the food, so we have been kind of creative in taking different things and putting them together. So for instance, one of the things we have is a banana bread sandwich, which is my special banana bread recipe, with some cream cheese and some guava syrup. And so you make a sandwich out of that because it's bread, right?
Of course.
It's just a sweet bread. So that is one of the desserts that we offer, and a lot of visitors find that very interesting. They like that. And then we do, for instance, we use green plantain to do a waffle. So we have a green plantain waffle. And how do you present that? So one of the ways we present it is as a Creole combo, because a traditional breakfast, you have your saltfish, your provisions, you could have boiled egg with that, you could have salad with that. So instead of the provisions, we use the green plantain waffle, which uses no flour. It's only green plantain, some coconut oil, some egg, and then a little spicy and stuff in it. And then we use the codfish with it, and the boiled egg, and the salad. So
I'm getting hungry. I'm really getting hungry.
It's a very nice waffle. So you'll have visitors who will come and they want something local.
Yeah.
And that's a nice something to offer them because it gives them a little bit of what they know but twisted. And then it also presents to them the traditional stuff.
The truth is, a lot of the visitors who choose Dominica deliberately want just that
they
kind
want local
of
experiences. Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So
Last year,
it
we had two ladies who walked off one of the cruise ships, and she said, granted it had been after Erica, so a lot of the islands were struggling with supplies, even us with supplies of things like plantain, basic stuff. Because if we struggle in Antigua and St. Kitts and them struggle because they don't get from here, right? So, and they said they were on this Caribbean cruise, and this was the first place at Urban Garden was the first place that they were able to get fried plantain, and they'd been looking forward to having fried plantain. They'd been through like 7 islands, and all they wanted was a little fried plantain.
And lunch is from when?
Lunch is basically from about 10:30, 11 o'clock. And we keep food on until usually 3:30, 4 o'clock. Okay. You can still, because most places in town, once it hits 2 o'clock, there's nothing left. But we supply so that we have later. And then we always have the other options, the rotis and those kinds of things at any time. You can get a roti at 8 o'clock in the morning if you want. All right. So we are located right opposite the PD Savan bus stop, Macmillan gas station, around the corner from
next to my partner Checker, the Calypsonian Checker, who's a tailor.
And Taylor Checker, that's right there. Our number is 317-8888. So if you want to call in to make your order in advance or to find out what we have on the menu, we also do deliveries between Loubier and Canefield, so you can get that as well as an additional service.
Wonderful.
And we open Monday through to Saturday. Fridays we open late until midnight with our happy hour and live music on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I sampled that last Friday. Wonderful. Beautiful. Nice atmosphere, man. Just so comfortable.
Yes, that's a good word.
Well, thank you again, Max.
All right.
And all the best wishes to Urban Garden and yourself and all your ventures. And I know it's going to go well.
I am trying my best.
Good food always goes well with good people and good experience. All right.
Have a wonderful afternoon.
Yourself, my dear. Carry on.
Bye-bye.
Okay, then. Okay, folks, that was Maxine Aline, proprietor, and everything else you can think of at the Urban Garden. Wonderful food, extraordinary cuisine, nice mixes and matches. And as we enter this Creole season, which you hear in the background, I'm sure Maxine, as will some of the other places, but definitely Urban Garden, will be presenting us with some really exquisite Creole items on their menu. But this is Talk on the Block, and I want to call you, the listeners, to begin to get ready to engage. All right, people, we're back. We got this thing sorted out. This is Talk on the Block. Matt is not in, he's traveling, but I see we have our first caller. Let's see if we can pick up this first caller.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm calling. I don't know. I know you have guests on your air right now.
No. Maxine was in and she's out.
What I'm saying, I know. I don't want to make attention to the public. This is Mr. Fountain here.
Hi, Jason.
And, I just listened on Kyrie News a while ago, and I'm hearing the Honorable Peter Serjeant is stating that the judge on our plane wanted to they wanted a ride to his house. I mean, this is just how a minister of government is his best defense. And after he put on Facebook on his page, on his own explanation, you guys can take a look at it, of what transpired on that day. And I just have to call and bring to the attention to the public that what was going on, what I just heard, it's a shame, and it's amazing to see how a sitting minister can actually make a statement in defense of that the gentleman wanted all the four men or all the three men that's having to stop him Saturday morning and say, Mr. Sergio, can I get a ride up to Balizia, please?
Mm-hmm.
That is just unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a man that says that he is a Christian, number one. Number two, a minister, sitting minister of education. And number two, to be saying that and putting this publicly, given that excuse, it is actually, I mean, this is something that we're going to be staying on top of.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep reiterating this. It's also only bringing to the attention of the public and to the commissioner, Mr. Carbon.
Mm-hmm.
His son has left the state, has left, he's out of state. The Monday following that incident, that just raises a lot of questions and a lot of suspicion that they know that they're in a lot of problem here, and that the authorities to get on this and investigate this matter, because this matter is getting to a suspicious kind of way now, that with his defense statement that he's making, that the man wanted a ride to your home, Mr. Cesar. Come on, you got to come better than that. You got to come better now with an excuse. But I will bring this up continuously, and we are on top of it, and we are not going to accept that. We are not going to tolerate that. And number two, you're putting an apology and some type of reasoning what happened on Facebook. Mr. Cesar, come in the public by the bus stop at Willis Junction and give a good apology to the public and to the community of Laughlin and to those men. These men can't read. They do not have Facebook. They do not have smartphones. And you're posting this on social media, and then you're not coming in the community to give a general, genuine apology, and you are still lying. You are lying on top of it again. And I'm saying to the public on news that these men wanted a ride to your house. I mean, who's going to buy this, Afi?
Yeah.
Who's going to buy this?
I'm just reading on DNO, the top article on DNO, and here's what he says, Jason. He says that each of these men involved has a history of theft and incarceration known to all within the... In other words, he's typically taking that labor cabal approach of failure to deal with the substance of the issue and attacking the individual's character.
You understand what I'm saying?
So,
you understand what I'm saying? I mean, he's continuing to de-characterizing those men on social media. He has made matters worse.
But I remember the gentleman who was here with you a couple of days ago. One of them said, "But this is my teacher. This guy was my teacher." He was still, in a respectful way, referring to Peter Serjeant as, "But my teacher. So if my teacher called me to go somewhere, I will go. He's my teacher."
Right.
You know, and so and what he gets, you know, for being so respectful to Peter, even under the circumstances, is that he's being accused of having a history of theft and incarceration. I'm not surprised. It's just that how can men with that kind of mind continue to be in positions of leadership in any kind of country? That is my concern.
I mean, this is exactly.
That is my concern.
Exactly.
So let's keep up the work. Let's not let go. Remember, in the case of Gonny Manuel, soon after that matter, there were two people hurrying to the airport to leave the country. So there's a pattern here. There's a pattern. So if Peter's son has left the country, he's singing from the same hymn sheet. Okay, my friend, take it easy.
You got it. All right, man. All right.
All right.
You got it, buddy.
Okay, man. Okay. Thank you very much for keeping us posted, Jason. I mean, this is infradig. This is rarely infradig. Talk on the block. Your turn to engage. Your turn to engage. If you have issues on your mind that you believe the public needs to know about, this is an opportunity. Matt's Creation, Talk on the Block. Good afternoon, sir. Ma'am.
Hey, Afi, blessings to you.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
Cool. Best I call you Matt. I hope Matt is doing okay.
Yeah, Matt is fine. Matt is well, from all reports.
All right. Anyway, Afi, very interesting, and I want to give thanks to you, even You try to remember in the Calistonian that another brother in the gutter, even Hunter have a thing, you know, showing how we all fall victims to crimes and violence and disappearances. And it's very interesting. These guys from Lapland did not disappear, Afi. You see how inactive the police would be, Afi? Because unless Adolf Hitler not just say, go ahead and investigate like they did to Mr. Linton, nobody moved. And when Black Muffin, he want to instruct these junior police officers who were just graduating and tell them, the senior officers are slackers, so
don't pay attention.
Them, you know? So you see the level of madness that exists, Afi? And I was talking, I made the analogy this morning. I talk about the linesmen becomes, or the sideliners, I refer to them as that, Afi, which is the most of the intellectuals in this country, because this enemy of the state is too formidable for them to try to put up their flag and say anything about them. And I talk about the referee, Afi, in the absence of the ball, which is the rule of law and the constitution, and then they can call all sorts of infringements, Afi. Throw matters out of the court, matters are going nowhere, and you know, many other things. But after the players, which I forgot, I usually come up with crazy ideas, so do not take me too serious, people. The players, remember, if you watch football, American football and soccer in Europe, Afi, you know, it's millions and millions. These guys work more than Dominica, you know, Afi. Any one player, one of these big players, Afi, they might work more than Dominica, having to do with our economy. You know, our treasury, you there with me? So these players in Dominica football match, Afi, do you think they care about if the ball is absent, if a brother disappears, if a child gets molested by a minister of government? Do you think they would bother if roads are not being repaired when they have the type of vehicles with shock absorbent, Afi? When it goes down in a pothole, they can have a glass with some drink on the dashboard and it's not going to fall. They can demolish existing bridges, Afi, and not repair the roads, but the daily bridges are not being replaced, Afi. So that's the level of madness that exists in Dominica. And all those who vex when I talk, God bless all you. Take care, Afi.
Okay. But you know what's really interesting to me, among other things, is that, I mean, while there are serious and substantial issues confronting states like ours, and I mean, I just read off of the news services of the statements of the prime ministers of St. Lucia, the prime minister of Antigua Barbuda, and the prime minister of St. Kitts Nevis at the recent UN General Assembly, and all of them were underscoring the kinds of deep challenges that small islands like ours, including Dominica, face, and our vulnerability, and the fact that we are so prone to, you know, the impact of the actions of larger economies, even with programs like the Passport program, even with programs like PetroCaribe, because they said anything could happen, and in a flash, the so-called short-term benefits that we're enjoying from these programs would just disappear. And they were asking, where are the safeguards? There are no safeguards. Jamaica is backing down and out of the PetroCaribe program because they're not prepared to keep their society and their economy hanging on the edge of a razor blade. Let's take another caller. Good afternoon, caller. Talk on the block.
Good afternoon, Mr. Afi, once more.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Afi, I have two concerns, but the first one, Mr. Afi, this month is October, not true?
October, all the month, yes.
And I know this month is the season the tourist industry going to open. Mr. Afi, one way or the other, I feel if we boasting about the tourist industry so important in that island, I noticed a couple of years back, government waiting when the tourists functioning, when those buses arriving and going up and down is when they have men with brush cutter. That not sounding good. I'm calling on those that in authority now, Loda, Commonwealth of Dominica Village, the Tito God and the Boiling Lake, that road need attention to brush cut and make the overhanging. And the second one, Mr. Afi, it hurts me, because why it hurts me, I know just like Dominica have a constitution, I know it's so in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Loda have a certificate of title lying down in London. And that certificate of title is Mr. Pascal that brought that land for his people at Loda from generation to generation.
Yeah.
But we have some young guys now, they're thinking when they come and they get some instruction or they put a red shirt, a red pants, or a red tennis in their foot, they're thinking they know about Loda land.
Mm-hmm.
They are just newcomer.
Okay.
If they want to know about Loda land, one thing Loda didn't make, and that hurting me bad, to choose a man or a woman to go and study law.
Mm-hmm.
Because what that's taking place in that village, if we had a lawyer can bring up those cases,
Mm-hmm.
we would be able to get in better solution than the way they're treating us. Because right now, look, they're boasting about the geothermal. Right now, I will meet me, my information I get, government going to pass it for a company. But I wonder that company, we take free blows already. I don't hope that company, if it never come on stream, we will stand up, because that company don't going to do us like the free other company treat the Loda people.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. McGlaw.
Have a pleasant afternoon.
Good.
And bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's interesting you raised that, because in fact that was one of the issues I wanted to raise on the block. You know how we have a short memory where, things come onto the plate and then fall off the plate, and we seem to forget. Geothermal. We had a signing ceremony between the Foreign Minister Barron and the Foreign Minister, or some representative of the Foreign Ministry from New Zealand, where geothermal is a major source of power for that Twin Island state. And it was about going for 7 megawatts of power, which is all along what the experts had recommended, but they insisted on talking about 100, 150, 300 megawatts, 2,500 acres of land, and so on. But let me alert Dominica. There is a report that was prepared by the Agence de l'Environnement, the Matrice de Energie, or something like that. The acronym is ADEME. And that report was completed and made available in 2014, 2015. It took 2 years from 2013 to prepare. And it's entitled The Initial Environmental Status of the Roseau Valley in Dominica, Planned for Development of Geothermal Electricity Production. You hear me well? The initial, that was in 2013 they did that. This is years after they tried to convince us that they had done an environmental impact study, and so that they were going ahead and exploring, and that's why they drilled wells in Loda, they drilled wells in Morton Waven, they drilled wells in Trafalgar. But they never had a proper environmental study done. The French government paid for this study that I'm referring to. And this study looked at the entire Roseau Valley, which runs from the heights of Loda, where Mr. McGlaw is calling from, and all the way down to the bayfront in Roseau. There was a 16-member team of French scientists that was brought in. And I have access to the summary, the summary part of that report, which is over 30 pages. The question I'm putting in front of the Dominican public is, how in heaven's name could you be attempting to fool the people again? And Vincent Henderson, this is for you, because you are the person pushing those buttons from where you are now, or soon going to be in Washington. And Francine Barron, poor girl, she doesn't really know any better. But that environmental report that was done by the French government, who you remember was going to be the largest purchaser of geothermal energy from Dominica, that report reminds that the principal concerns of the population regarding the project are as follows. Number one, an emergency plan for the evacuation of the valley. You understand me? An emergency plan plan for the evacuation of the Roseau Valley. And that Roseau Valley, people, includes the whole of the city of Roseau. The second matter of concern is a clear explanation of what are the benefits to the residents of Dominica and the valley from such a project. The third issue has to do with the proximity, that is, the short distance between those wells, the well heads, and people's homes. And in fact, there are people in the Loda Trafalgar area who ask every now and again, some of them ask me, but they should be asking the government, what has happened to those holes that we drilled in Dominica? One of those holes, two of those holes went down deeper than 1 kilometer. That is, it went down below the level of the sea in which Dominica as an island sits. Those wells have not been tapped for energy. No energy is coming out that we can use. They could not find a re-injection site. They tried to find one by the football field in Trafalgar. And they discovered that the underground rivers, yes, the underground rivers in the Roseau Valley would not allow for the safe re-injection of the slurry, of the mud that would come to the surface as a result of the injection, the extraction of the hot fluids. Some of those wells are within eyesight of people's homes, and certainly close to the football field in Trafalgar. The concern is, and the concern raised in that French report is, how can you be putting things like that so close to people where people are already living? And guess what? It's been more than a year or more since those wells have been abandoned. Have they been sealed? Have they been properly sealed? Have they been capped? Is anything escaping slowly from those holes in the earth that were drilled under the supervision of the project management unit, the geothermal project management unit? And is any gas, are any gases escaping? Are any liquids escaping? Remember, there were several highly toxic elements and substances that the wells had to go through. Arsenic being one of them, cadmium, lithium, all kinds of what they call trace elements, and they call them trace elements because they only need to be available in tiny amounts in order to have impact. And generally the impact is toxic. So the question is, those holes, who is supervising them? Who is looking over them? Is any scientist visiting those holes and checking, using the right kind of equipment to make sure that there's no effluent, nothing coming out in the air or in the groundwater that would have a negative impact on people's health? So, and the list of these kinds of concerns that has been raised in this report commissioned by the government of France includes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 concerns. 22 concerns. So I'm saying, how can we be making it sound like we are planning to proceed with the government of New Zealand now, when these concerns remain unattended? And it is people like Mr. Magloire and those other residents of Loda people in Trafalgar, people in Wharton Waven. These people are on the front line of any potential risk now scientifically identified by the French research team. I remember when some of us raised these concerns, they said, some otherwise intelligent people said, you guys trying to scare people away, or you were asking for clean energy, now the government getting geothermal, or you challenging it. Things have to be done right, or not done at all. That is an essential principle called the precautionary principle, which guides environmental science. You've got to get it right, especially when you're fooling around with big and powerful systems like underground geothermal sources. So, I don't know if the geothermal unit is hearing or interested at all. I don't know if the geothermal unit still exists. But if it does, somebody in authority needs to start sending scientists to Loda, Trafalgar, and Wharton Waven with the right kind of monitoring equipment to see if those wells have been capped properly, and to see if there's anything coming out of those wells going into the air and slowly but surely poisoning the area. We gotta pay a lot of attention to that. We're going to take your calls. We have some ads. Talk on the block. Go right ahead, caller. You're on.
Good afternoon, Afi.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
Fine.
Good. Remember yesterday I said I had two concerns on our heritage.
Yes.
And so on. Yes. Here is my other thing. As you just said, the government don't listen. The different government don't listen to advice from other people unless it's coming from them, or unless it's coming from people from overseas. My concern is our heritage. We play our music and we eat our Creole food and we do our dance only one time in the year. I remember when I just came from England, but I have traveled more than 50 countries in Europe.
Right.
And as you know, once you leave England and you go to France, about 30 minutes away, the other countries is only borders you've got to cross. You cross one border, cross a border, you're in another country. And at no time, at every time you cross a border, you have no doubt in which country you are.
Yeah.
The music always on, their attire is always on, their food is always on. You have no doubt because they're proud of their heritage.
That's right.
They're proud of what they have. I remember when I've been United Seed, I'm president for about 15 years. So I mingled with everybody in the tourism sector, and I try to bring that up. Let us play at the airport. Let's play our music. Let's have some people dress in our attire. Let us dress now and then in our work duet and our shit. Let us play our. We have some of the best calypsonians. Let us play our calypso.
Yeah.
Most importantly, let us play our Jinping on a daily basis. The radio, television, play it on the side of the road. As you know, in Europe, you go to, like in France, you go to Pompidou Center in Paris, and they do their thing all the time. You want to know who's doing magic, who's singing this and that. Let us try and do that in this small country. But, as far as I'm concerned, we have no pride. We have, we only do that once a year. We want, as tourists come in, and it's a money-making thing. As tourists come in, they eat our food, they buy our music, they wear our tie. And why are we doing it only once a year? Where is the pride? Where is it?
That's right. Thank you very much, friend.
Okay,
appreciate it. Always appreciate the input. Let's see if we can take a word from some of the people who make this kind of programming possible.
Committee presenter Campus in Feast. Yes, who tell game and Fed Campus. Friday, September 30 to Sunday, October 2nd, 2016. On Friday, September 30, True Rhythm Band DJ Cliff, DJ Matthew, True Shatter, and the Booyah King S. Then on Saturday, October 1st, Signal Band Clint H, Ecstasy Band, RS Digital, DJ Malbum, and Daddy Benji N2O. Sunday, October 2nd, morning, mass 11 a.m., followed by cultural activities. True Shatter, DJ Spawner, DJ Cliff, DJ Megs, and the first Serenade Band. Event powered by Newland Sounds and Lights. Partners include the Government of Dominica, Honorable Reggie Austri Flow, Petro-Caribbean, Caribbean Construction Limited, National Petroleum Limited, Fine Foods Inc., and Newland Sounds and Lights. No vendors allowed. Fed Capicia this weekend. Sakaimara.
www.q95da.com. It's our brand new dynamic Q Family website. Log in, interact, have fun on the pages of your favorite shows. Rise and Shine, The Hot Seat, Easy Rock 951, Nature Isle Cruise, Youth on Q, Knockout 95, Politics, Weekly Headlines, Island Rhythms, Soul to Soul Gospel, Creole Asser Q, The Big Link Up, Q Exposure, Power Drive 951, Q Classic Gold Flashbacks, Sports Rap, The Quiet Side of Q. Interact live with your show hosts and Q Family listeners worldwide in real time. Make your comments, give your feedback, tell the world what's on your mind in the comments box at the bottom of the pages at q95da.com. You interact and connect instantly with friends and Q Family members on the hottest social networks: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Messenger, Gmail, Google+. Make your comments in the box at the bottom of each news story on the news page by clicking on the headline of the news story. Log in to q95da.com. You'll just love to surf every unique page on our brand new dynamic interactive Q Family website. Browse through our interesting pages in your Q Family photo gallery. Listen to live audio. Watch intriguing videos on QTV on our homepage and in our video gallery. Q95 has long gone global. Place your web banners and video ads where the world is watching and listening on the big station, q95da.com. Streaming crystal clear audio and video in total liquid stereo. Don't miss out. Check q95da.com today and every day. Check it right now. Immerse yourself in what's hot and happening at www.q95da.com. Lock it in. Right on Q, the big station.
It's now on Endeavor. You requested it and we listened. The Government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority invite the nation to take advantage of the final World Creole Music Festival season ticket special. Only $250 EC dollars. $250 EC dollars. $250 EC. And they're available at Bullseye Pharmacy, Roseau and Portsmouth, Deepex in Roseau, ASI South City Grand Bay, Douglas Snack at Portsmouth, Pigs and Funds Roseau and Portsmouth. Offer ends October 7th, 2016. The World Creole Music Festival, where people meet. This advert was brought to you with the kind compliments of DJ Cell, the extraordinary network.
Roast breadfruit, fried breadfruit. I must just swap the breadfruit them round there. Cool kid, them some breadfruit make you covered, but them have a beer if catch a one ya. Escobar say I eat. You all get the breadfruit.
Dominica, get ready. It's coming. Reserve the date. Come to Marigot from November 3rd to 4th, 2016 for breadfruit and something breakfast fest. It's on. It's 12 hours of festing. Be there. Marigot, Dominica. Breadfruit and something breakfast fest. It's on. Be there. This ad is sponsored by Country Style Bread and Q95 FM Radio.
You want breadfruit? Just tell me if you want breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Catch it down to them called breadfruit. Watch it down, roast or fry. Catch it down, roast or fry, breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Tell me if you want roast breadfruit.
The unmistakable music of this program, Talk on the Block. Caller, you're right on, live.
Yes, Mr. Afi Martin, you're so right. Vince Anderson want to play a trick on the people, but what Vince Anderson know is not he alone that have education. He never show us, and I don't expect him to show us. He can only fool some people.
Some of the time.
But not all the time.
All
because
the time.
Mr. Afi, that plan showing, the closer you can build that geoformer is 10 miles.
Yes.
And right now, Loda to Roseau is 6 miles.
There you go.
So when you take again all Grand Farm and John Libesic, all those plus the city.
Yeah.
So when you talk, people telling you politics, but that is your life.
Wow.
And we have some that going on Bush. Well, I will not blame the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister, he have so much on his and he want to handle everything. So he don't have time to go through the process and to give the full detail. But I telling him that geoformer, closer it could build, is 10 miles. And
Okay, Mr. McLeod. Thank you.
6 miles.
Thank you much. Appreciate it. You are right. Yes, caller, you're right.
Mr. Martin, how are you, man?
I'm good.
How you now go, man?
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
I'm there, man.
Well, you guys safe?
Oh, we are very safe.
Okay, good.
Mr. Martin, you know, this fellow just spoiled Dominica, man. We were the nature island now, we're not nature again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We are artificial island, you know.
Yep.
Because after a little is RP, no water, no mapping, nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know why. And what I'm saying is that, look at so much money them fellows spend. How many million? 70 million? Why could
62 actually.
Why couldn't I give them like that money to beautify Dominica, electrify Dominica, you know? You know, after the little breeze, we sit almost a whole day without light, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody bowling, they want light. Give them like the money and leave them do much more work on the system.
Mm-hmm.
And all like now, we have not yet geothermal. When is that going to start? Nobody knows. Only spending useless money. Anyway, continue the program.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. Appreciate it. The fact of the matter is there are also a lot of other private people, some of them already in the business of renewable energy, who actually would be candidates for helping install significant renewable energy systems for Dominica. Good afternoon, caller. You're right on.
Good afternoon, Matthew. How are you?
Fine.
You know, I have one beef with my fellow Dominicans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my beef is that why do we, or do you all call, you know, the ministers honorable?
Habit.
You know, but they are a core of government, but everybody knows that.
Yes.
But still they say honorable spirit, honorable this, honorable that. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I would like them to look up the word, go to the dictionary or Google and look at the word honorable. Look at the antonyms and the synonyms of honorable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Thank you, brother.
That's what. All right.
Understood.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You're right. How can we ask people to obey the law when the people who are sworn to protect and uphold the law are themselves disobeying the law? Think of it. Think of it. Think of it. You are told as a young person to look for models, examples, people who you would like to emulate, people whom you would like to grow up and be like. And generally that would be, you know, your priests, your pastors, your teachers, public leaders. Go through that list today and tell me which one of them you would like to grow up and be like. Caller, good afternoon.
Avi.
Yes.
Hi, bye.
The vibes It's not geothermal yet. Yes.
I didn't see you there for the longest time there. About Peter Session there.
Yes.
You see the car that you do there? And you call yourself a pastor?
Yes.
Them man not ready yet there.
No.
And those people that going under and still there nothing, they're going to pray, have your nice clothes, and singing on for me, sir.
Yeah.
I got in heaven.
Yep. Okay, caller. You know, I'm convinced that more and more Dominicans are beginning to see the contradictions, and this is a tribute to the work done not only here at Q95 due to the wisdom and investment of Sheridan Gregoire and the hard work on the difficult circumstances of the Sherwins and the others that make this station run. I'm convinced that more and more Dominicans are seeing it, but we need to get to the tipping point, people. Otherwise, there will be no Dominica left to save. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Afi. Good evening to your listening public.
Good afternoon, Louis. How are you?
Not bad. I don't mind. I will digress a little bit from the geothermal issue.
Sure.
Yesterday, on the program with the lady from the ECCB, I deliberately asked or mentioned two separate things: the interest rate and the de-risking.
Yes.
Now she told us gladly that Dominica has a higher interest rate on its savings than in the United States.
Yeah, well, we dismissed that one really right away.
Now, what I wanted to find out was, if that is so, does that attract US dollar savings into the ECCB territories, or is the de-risking issue an inhibitor to the flow of that? Because by basic maths or economics or whatever you want to call it, market, whatever you want to call it, should suggest that if you have a higher interest rate on your savings, then that should induce more savings into your economy. So if it is not bringing in that savings, whether the de-risking or if there's a correlation or a connection between this de-risking issue, our interest rate, and the lack of flow of savings from those other things into our things.
But there's a direct correlation between all of these and the mismanagement of these tiny economies. There's a direct correlation, and that is what, interestingly, without saying it, that's what the three leaders from the small island states who spoke at the UN recently were saying. Chasney and Dr. Harris and Caston Brong were saying, we have problems in spite of everything else and so citizen program. We are still vulnerable to the 2008-2009 type situation. So you're absolutely on target, but they're not accepting any responsibility for it.
The other thing I see is that, leadership is about.
Louis, I only have 2 more minutes, so I'm giving you one of those 2.
Okay, taking advantage of opportunities in challenges.
Yeah.
We look at the de-risking issue as a challenge. What is the opportunity that exists that these leaders should be taken care of?
Quite right.
The fact that they should strengthen their financial institutions, strengthen their procedures, their policies, their management structure, their board of directors. That is the opportunity that exists in this challenge. And I want to know, what is this relentless advocacy they're talking about?
We have to take it here, Louis. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Breadfruit! Fried breadfruit! Breadfruit! I must just spot the breadfruit them round there. Cool kid! That's the breadfruit make you cover!
You can just wind it up. I'll just. Yeah.
Dominica, get ready. It's coming. Reserve the date. Come to Marigat from November 3rd to 4th, 2016 for breadfruit and something breakfast fetch. It's on. It's 12 hours of fetching. Be there. Marigat Dominica. Breadfruit and something breakfast fetch. It's on. Be there. This ad is sponsored by Country Style Bread and Q95 FM Radio.
Breadfruit. want breadfruit? Just tell me if you want breadfruit, breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Catch it down to them called breadfruit. Watch it down, roast or fry, roast or fry. Catch it down, roast or fry, roast or fry, breadfruit. You want breadfruit? Tell me if you want roast breadfruit, breadfruit.